Hi, I'm coming at you live. Well, not really live. I mean, I am alive, which is saying something because it is the end of the school year and no one really thought I would make it out alive. I mean, in less than a year, I'm going to be graduating and I can say peace out to the hellhole that is West TA and high school in general, and I can move on to the broke atmosphere that is going to be being in college. But before I go, I decided it might be best to share some helpful tips that I learned after taking AP Literature my junior year with Mr. Mitchell. Because, trust me, you're gonna need it. No, trust me, don't stray from my advice. However, before we continue, I would like to have a disclaimer. See, I'm not the average student. I have a few learning disabilities and all that stuff. So they might not work for you. So tip number 1 is be organized. Now, everyone knows that students who took AP Literature are obviously the smartest and most capable and well-educated and organized and best students. And that's the reason why they took this course. Not to make my parents love me or proud of me. One of the best ways to keep organized is using your AP Literature binder. Lit tip number 2. Annotations must be done the night before they're due. At 2 a.m. when you should be sleeping because you have a math exam tomorrow. But instead you'll stay up and annotate because for the past 3 months you've been off-putting it. I mean, in all honesty, you can basically do anything within 2 hours at 2 a.m. You just need the correct amount of willpower, effort, self-hate, and Arizona tea. When you're doing your annotations, you want to make sure that you have the correct amount of supplies because certain books that we do read, you need to annotate a little bit more to understand than, say, things fall apart. It's important that when you're doing these, you stay on topic as well as you are paying attention to what you're reading. If you ever get really stressed out, you can do what I did most of the year. Cry on Snapchat until it fixes itself.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
This is just kind of a shameless plug, but if you want to see me cry on Snapchat about my courses this year and next year and years to come, add me on Snapchat, yo. This is kind of a depressing one, but you might want to give up on the, oh, I love this character, I want this character to live happily ever after. Because
they die anyways.
There's no point. I can't name one book where someone did not die. When in doubt, yes, possibly it out. What I mean by this is that in literature, there's very few defined things that are there in the text. And when it comes to talking about symbolism and different analogies, there's even less confined limits that you have to go by. Literally everything has symbolism. Everything. Yes, possibly is one of the best advice that you could ever get because it really does apply to everything in this class. And when I mean everything, I mean legitimately everything. Lit tip number 5 is make a playlist for your books. This is probably one of the most serious ones that I have because I've been using it since I started my career at West. I did this for each book that we've read since freshman year. So what I started to do was kind of just put together playlists to go along with different songs.
I'm waiting for you every night.
Cannot. I never gave you hope to wait for me.
Have something.
Let's talk this over. It's not like we're dead. Was it something I did? Was it something you said?
That is a whore, Mr. Danforth!
Don't leave me hanging.
This kind of works for people with reading disabilities. It allows you to visualize it as well as hear it without having to hear what you're reading. It helped me understand, and maybe it might help you understand. Lit tip number 6. You should maybe read the book, actually sit down with the book and read it, which I know, shocking. You should read a book inside AP Literature. Besides, Mr. Mitchell's gonna know when you just spark note the book or watch the movie. For example, Wuthering Heights, 99% of the movie is dialogue that did not happen. And trust me, boo-boo, I know, it's hard to focus. Trust me, I know it's hard to focus. But the fact is that being able to focus will probably make you have a higher grade, as well as you won't seem so stupid when you're doing those, amazing class discussions. You just sound stupid. Read the book. Don't spark note it or watch the movie 2 hours before your test. It will not work. It won't work. You can lie to yourself and say it will work and that you will understand everything. Lit tip number 7. Don't fall asleep in class. Yes, I am a dirty, dirty hypocrite. Just don't fall asleep in class. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And yes, I know, everyone stays up doing very important things. I know that my nightlife is poppin'. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. This class isn't as difficult as people say it is. The juniors and the seniors just love seeing freshmen and underclassmen in general pee their pants. It isn't this monumental, terrible, I'm gonna die tomorrow type of course. And if you ever feel the motivation that you won't get through it, just realize that this is a 1-year course with every other day off, holidays off, weekends off, and a little bit of homework. You can and will survive, and that's great. And you're gonna pass because you care about your grades if you attend this school. You care about whether or not your grades are gonna be really high or really low at a given point.